Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Backpack Trader training room for Tuesday, April 15th, 2025, tax day. Please note the required risk disclosure. This room is for educational and informational purposes only. It is not financial advice. Trading of this type carries substantial risks and should only be attempted with funds you can afford to do without. All right. This is our only session today. So do away with the risk disclosure. Crude is this 838.51 trade that gives us a chance to get in sync right in here on the second wick, getting both targets 14 and 22, 36 tick session, one and done, unleaded, no trades. This short trade was a little too early. There is not 1 second after, and nothing comes back down to the entry before hitting the stops. That is a no trade. And we have a new setup on the pound Aussie. Long setup. Had a successful early trade. First actionable target is going to be target 2. Money management just above target 1 there. And soybeans is going to be looking for a new setup. YM is currently flat. Micro Russell has gone too far, so we'll look for a new setup there. And that's where we stand this morning. And it looks like, oh yeah, the crude trade finally stopped out. We're running since before 8 o'clock. We actually got, or 9 o'clock. We actually got in at 9 o'clock. YM has been on a fairly strong uptrend since about 8:30 Eastern. Open of pre-market trading on the Dow Jones exchange, on the exchange. Almost market open. Market is open. YM hitting higher. There's a new long trade on soybeans. Now, did it get in? 23, 15. Okay. That's so far going to be get in sync. And actually set up on a down. Popped back up to the entry and came down again. So there is a new short setup. That's just above the session low. Yeah, that's one tick above the session low. I'd put that at the prior trade stop. So we still have the I'm going to leave the long trade there, and we have a short at the stop. We'll cancel the long trade if we touch the unadjusted entry. And the YM takes a full stop on the short. Wow, that actually got active really fast. Actually, we should have been in that first short. That's a one and done session. Gives a 27 tick target, a few ticks on the trailer. One and done on this short. Crude picks up a long trade. That's not something we're going to take. That crude is already done. On Aussie trade cancels, we do trigger short on our soybeans trade. We'll make that 3 tick adjustment. So minimum 6 tick target. YM is done, so I'm going to put the unleaded chart up there so we can take a look at the micro NQ. Micro NQ has a potential, or has a long trade, and that is 30 seconds after our start time. So that's a valid trade, taking some heat, serious heat. It looks like it survived. Coming within just 8 tick, it looks like, of the stop. And now stopping out and blasting through to short. You know, if we come back up, that'll be a get in sync. That's going to be a no trade. Take a full stop on the long and no trade on the short. Michael Russell. Trade a minute after our start. Yeah, that trade was way too early. So 5.17. Yeah, that's. I'm afraid we're not gonna get away from that one. So that's gonna be a loss, an initial loss on the, followed by a win if we can trade it. 28, 29, 33, 30, 33, 38. Nope, that one's too fast. It's short. It's our next one. 36 to 43. That one we should be in. That's break even. 35, 35, 35, 44. That's 9 seconds. Okay. I'm afraid that's another one we can't get away from. That's 2 losses. And then we go have a current long. That one gave us plenty of time to get in. Looks like it's going to money management. There's our break-even stop. Money management was probably a tick or 2 beyond. Yeah, 2 ticks beyond the target. This is trade number 4. Unleaded, picking up the long trade. First trade of the morning for unleaded. And targets 3 and 4 on Micro Russell. Trailing at 899.9 now. Okay. Price now up above 1900 again. Let's see, where were we over here on Micro NQ? Now there's our first trade, was a loss. Second trade, that looks like it went that was too fast to the break-even point. That's a no trade. Long, initially too fast, and I would say high volatility. I'm not going to take trades coming back. I'll wait for them to come through the entry and come back. back up, drop back below the entry, so I'm not going to take that long trade. Probably that one's kind of iffy. So I'll take a loss and avoid that loss. The short trade is a tough one. I'm going to count that as a loss, but it's quite possibly avoidable. When you go to the long, there's a little wick there. It gets back to the entry 12. Oh, Lord. Oh, it's a minute. So, yeah, we're definitely in this trade. And that's a nice winner. All four targets and a very good trailer. Target 3 on the trailer. Short doesn't ever trigger. Another long. I would take that. That was just, so that one we should be in. Two losses, a solid win. Soybean still in the short. Unleaded, break even. No targets yet. Short trade on the micro Russell. The long trade looks to me like an avoidable trade. And it's a 10-second bar, but it's 10 seconds to well below the stop. So I would say that one's too fast to have executed. Possibly avoidable on that, the short loss. I count that as a loss. And that actually is loss number 3. So that would end the session. And we take loss number 3 on the micro NQ as well. So that ends that session. So unleaded comes back down there. Yeah, we had 2 longs that both canceled on the pound Aussie. It's still flat there. Short on the soybeans chart. YM is done. Fruit is done. Unleaded trying to push up. That trailer now at 334. Looks like 363 for target one. Did it get there? High of 364 now, so yep, it got there. Target one traders, this will be your power quitting. Unleaded trying to push up through the session high at 369. Micro Russell setting a new session high. YM working up right at the session high. Soybeans long trade is filtered by the hybrid mode. It won't take a stop and reverse against the trend indicator, which is down. So we will not take the long trade unless the trend indicator turns up on a stop and reverse. And we take the long trade normally, not as a stop and reverse. YM getting money management and a stop out. If we're not trading the YM, it's done. Unleaded, it's still at 334. Crude pushing higher. All right, unleaded still not going anywhere. Soybeans still short. Pound Aussie at session lows. Crude pulling back, crude and unleaded both pulling back a bit. Crude stop moves up to 337. So we've got 16 ticks on the trailer. Crude working just above its session open. Unleaded up at almost right at session highs. 369 for the session high, and we got as high as 367. Testing the balance line. Crude kind of going sideways. Unleaded. Kind of a sideways with a slightly upward drift, but now it just stopped out. So target 1 traders are done. Target 2 traders have 32 ticks in hand, 16 tick trailer there. Target 1 picked up 42 and 16, 58 ticks on the day. Well, in the $240, $250 range for the trade. That's a one and done session for target 1 traders. Soybeans getting back down close to the entry. Please do say hello in the chat. And a new long setup on the pound Aussie. This is the fourth attempt at reversal. So our odds are going up. Still a small trade. Target 2 is our first objective. And the stop is down beyond the session low. I think the low is 715.9 and low is 715.4. So yeah, just and long triggers in. Entry at 730.0731. Money management at 0743. Unleaded with a potential short trade now. Target 2 traders only now on unleaded. Money management on the pound Aussie. Testing the 50 EMA. Target at 0747. 2 positions would come off. Pulling back down a bit. 0732 is our break-even stop. We have not triggered the short on the unleaded chart, and we have one close above, and no, then we get a down close below the balance line again, so we still have just one close above. Trade is still valid. And we do get into the unleaded short. We can get money management before the 50. Price coming back to this entry. We're also in our 10 a.m. crude mini session. Crossover filter keeping us out of the short on crude. And we did stop out for just the 1 pip on pound Aussie. Still short on soybeans, short on unleaded, flat on crude in the 10 a.m. mini session, and flat on the pound Aussie. Micro Russell, Micro NQ, and the YM are done. That's short on unleaded, flat on crude, short on soybeans, and flat on the pound Aussie. Market definitely slowing down today. Micro Russell close to session highs. Dow just off session highs. 40,972 for the session high on the Dow. Everything looks like it's just working on deciding where it's going. Now just kind of drifting up slightly following the 50 EMA. It's a very noisy drift. Right around session open. Unleaded just below session highs. Both right around the 20 simple moving average. Pound Aussie moving up fairly strong after flirting with the session low. And we'll be right back. Prudent for long trade. I will be on and off. I'm on hold on the call I need to take. I'll try to get back on here. And prudent in the long trade. Unleaded trade stopped out. All right, sorry about the interruption. Crude still is long. Unleaded is flat. Soybeans is still short. Back at the 20 simple moving average on soybeans. And the pound Aussie is still flat. Something pushing the markets down. Unleaded picking up a short trade as crude also picking up a short setup. It's like at 58. Yeah, so that would come down to 54. All right, crude going through targets 1 and 2. So that was a 4-tick adjustment. So we get 17 and 28, 45 ticks. And we had 54 to 72, 18, 36. So we are positive and done there. Unleaded with a nice short. Target 2 of 60 ticks. And we just stopped out. For another 60, so 120 ticks there. Our loss here was 88. So we're plus 32, so minus 56 plus 120, and unleaded is positive, so unleaded is done. Pound Aussie picks up a long trade, and of course when I'm in the midst of something, everything, oh wow, that one's going to go all the way to target 3. Small trade. Target 3 is 13 pips. Only managed 1 tick below that. Soybeans still short. And the YM, well, pushing upward. YM and Micro Russell pushing strongly upward. Crude coming back around. And full stop out on the pound Aussie, and now a short trade. So soybeans and pound Aussie, all that remain. Give it 5 minutes or so. I'm going to have to call it a day at right around 10:30. Ooh. And another full stop out on the pound Aussie. Getting caught up in the noise. Micro Russell and the YM both heading downward again. Soybeans still going sideways in the short. All right. Soybeans still not going anywhere. It doesn't look like we've got a trade coming up in the immediate future on the pound Aussie, so I'm going to call it morning. We will see everybody tomorrow at 9:30. Regular session at 9:30 Eastern Daylight Time, U.S. tomorrow, and crude oil inventory report at 10:30 Eastern Daylight Time, U.S. So we'll see everybody tomorrow at 9:30.